So I traveled all the way to Pakistan in 1991 to meet Dr Israr Ahmed. He was a medical doctor. He wasn't trained in any Islamic institute or Islamic university. He was a medical doctor inspired by Maududi, Jamaat Islami, went to Tabligh Jamaat, then started his own organization, Tanzim Islam. I went to Lahore to meet him. And I was shocked at his simplicity. The command that he has over the Quran. He also speaks in English, but mainly in Urdu. And I was impressed by it. So I purchased all his video cassettes and added to the video cassette library. And to cut the story short, I learned many things from him. I'll just mention two important things I learned. Number one, he told me that I told about my background. I'm a medical doctor. I've just passed. And in 1991, I finished my medical studies and I was doing my internship when we started the organization. In 1991, in 1990, I finished my medical studies. For 1 year, there was internship. And during internship, I had more time, so we started the organization. So I told him, I've just finished my medical studies. I would like to become a surgeon, do my MS, and I'm interested in Dawah. So he told me, son, you have to choose between the two. Either you choose your medical practice or Dawah. I, being a medical doctor, I practiced for 7 years and tried to do both. I could not. If you want to specialize, choose between the two one thing. Then, after his guidance, I chose to become a Da'i. The second thing I learned from him was, he told me that if you want to become a Da'i, see to it that you make your personal needs the minimum. I said, why? He said, if you make your personal need the minimum, with the least amount of monthly requirement, you can speak the truth more easily. You won't have to depend on anyone. You won't have to depend on please someone who's paying your salary. See to it that your needs are the least. And I saw that he had such a big institution, but what a simple man, Dr Israr Ahmed. May Allah grant him Jannah. And this thing, that not to spend excessively, was one of the cornerstone of my success. Just in case I forget, towards the end I may tell you, but today I require only 2,000 ringgit a month for me and my wife to survive. Only 2,000 ringgit. Very comfortably. Very comfortably. Not for my Dawah activity. Dawah activity, though I have travel, fly, I pay my own money, that's different. That may be in large amount. But for my personal needs, 2,000 ringgit is sufficient. In Bombay, it was 40,000 rupees. Here it is 2,000 ringgit, sufficient. Inshallah, time permits, I'll come to it later on. So these two things I learned from Sheikh Ahmed Deedat. And when I came back, I told my parents, initially when we started the organization, Islamic Research Foundation, I told my parents I will only be giving 2 hours a week. Because once I finish my internship, when I join the MS surgery, I have to be there 24 by 6 or 6.5. Maybe I get half a day in a week free. So I spend some time with my family and 2 hours in this organization. But then I decided I will not do my post-graduation. I told my parents, I want to give 2 hours a day for Dawah and the balance time for my medical practice. My father had a roaring practice. My elder brother, Dr Muhammad Naik, also was a doctor. And my brother, he was a very good orator. So when Sheikh Ahmed Deedat came, he was the MC. Because he was the Secretary General of his medical college. Very good orator. Not an Islamic speaker, but a general orator. So that's how Sheikh Deedat was impressed. So I told my parents, 2 hours Dawah, remaining medical practice. After a couple of months, I said 50% Dawah, 50% medical practice. They said no problem. Then I said 2 hours medical practice, remaining Dawah. They said no problem. Then after maybe a year or so, I said full-time Dawah. They said no problem. I was involved in the setting up of the diagnostic center, which was very lucrative. It was 50% partner, myself and my brother. My brother told me, don't worry about this. I will take care of it. You do your Dawah, I will give you a 50% share. I said, I don't require 50%. He said, no, I will give you 50%. It is your thing. You do your Dawah. So, inshallah, my brother Dr. Muhammad will get more sawab than me. He said, go ahead. So, in the initial stages of Dawah, I had no problem whatsoever about funding. I asked my father to give me 5,000 rupees a month. It became 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 a month. I never asked any money. More than 95% of the funding of the Dawah for the first several years was by my father. Never had any problems. And the first talk I gave was in 1992 in December. And as you are aware, Sheikh Ahmed Dida didn't carry notes. Sometimes he had carried some slips, but generally without notes. So the first talk I gave in my life was, is the Quran God's word, in the office, small office. Could accommodate about 50, 60 people. And I memorized, I wanted to give a 1 hour talk, so I memorized. First time in my life. And I gave the talk. The talk went on for approximately 3 hours. I was inexperienced. Without notes, I spoke for 3 hours talking about the scientific miracles, about various research I did. Is the Quran God's word? It was little less than 3 hours. A marathon lecture, I thought it would be 1 hour. That was the first lecture of my life. It was in, just an audience of 50 people. And then it started. Then we started having in public halls for a few hundred, then few thousand, then the numbers kept on increasing. And I had that philosophy at that time that a person should get married at the age of 25, best age, latest 27. So at the age of 25, I started finding a life partner. I could not find any. My only 2 criteria was, she should be a Dai and she should know English. I wasn't interested in beauty, wasn't interested in wealth, wasn't interested in nobility, only virtue. She should be virtuous, a Dai, and knows English. So in the whole city of Bombay, I could not find anyone. Then one of the family friends told me that there is a girl in Pune, which is the city 160 kilometers from Bombay. So me, my mother and my wife, without telling that girl, without telling her, we just visited the house, without telling her, to try and find out what is she. And we went there and the mother welcomed and not knowing why we came there, we started asking about the Dawah activities. At that time, I thought I was doing something wrong. Hidingly going to see a girl, I thought it was wrong. I thought it was a minor sin. But now we realize that a prophet said it's a sunnah to go and look at the girl they're going to marry. And there were sahabas who saw the girl they're going to marry hidingly. So it's permitted in Islam. That time I thought it was, maybe wrong. It's unethical. And, mashallah, when we came to know about her, I was impressed. Never ever did I see any girl. This is the first girl, because my sister used to first do the interview. We don't want to unnecessarily meet girls to marry. This is the first girl I met, and I was impressed. And she did not know about it. So therefore I joke with my wife that, I started loving you before you started loving me. And I tell her that I'm ahead of you in love. In other things, okay, in taqwa, in Islam, she may be higher than me. But as far as love is concerned, I love you more than what you love me. She says, no, she loves me more than me. So I said, we will do the Hisab Kitab in Akhirah, inshallah.